Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, yesterday we were discussing about the Kenya Kwanza PG that took place at Statehouse, which was convened in a short notice. There are things we did not discuss yesterday, but this issue is of great concern in this country. In the discussion that Ruto had with the members of parliament, governors, senators allied to Kenya Kwanza, and those members of parliament who have actually moved from the Azimio side to come this side, it was the question about the police factor and intelligence during mass action. There is a blame from the members of parliament that the IG of police, Kome, is doing little to deal with the issue of mass action. They are talking about the issue of giving him an autonomy on the finance, because now he's the accounting officer, and now they don't have to wait for someone to come in here. They get their money direct, is accounted for. But according to the Kenya Kwanza side, members of parliament, it's like Kome is doing little in as much as he has power and money to do his work. They are saying that the police officers have been caught in a mess more than 2 times. I think they are focusing on what happened in Mlolongo and what happened in Kisi. Of course, also by the fact that Raila Amolo Odinga managed to enter CBD in the last mass action we had. They're saying that police are doing too little to deal with the mass action. Then another person that was mentioned in this parliamentary group meeting was the man in charge of intelligence, Nuruddin Haji. There is some quarters in Kenya that believe that Nuruddin Haji is doing too little, and some are saying that this man is sympathetic to Azimio side. So already he took office the other day, but we have some people who believe that he is a sympathizer to the Azimio side. He is doing too little and is giving too little information. That means he's not serious on getting more intelligence to deal with the issue of mass action. Why were police officers caught up? Why was it that intelligence was not aware as early as possible on how people were planning to deal with the issue of mass action? So all these questions have been raised up. And if you go and read Cherarge's latest tweet, you will see he is suggesting that the constitution should be suspended, then ruled by decree. So that now Ruto is going to clean up, then from there they can now restore peace and move forward. So many questions being raised, and the people are asking, is Kenya Kwanza fully in control of this government, or are they failing? Or is police officers not with William Samoei Ruto? Those are the questions. Before we give our views, just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our return subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, going by what is happening, it is true that police officers have been caught not twice, not 3 times. It is more, many times. And it has gone against the wish of Kenya Kwanza. The big question is that how did Raila Amolo Odinga manage to get to CBD? In as much Ruto want to put a blame, or members of parliament to Kenya Kwanza side are planning to put a blame on police officers, what they need to know is that Kenyans are just coming out more bold, and the numbers are increasing every day. They should go and check on the kind of crowd that Raila Odinga left with at Kamkunji when he decided to walk, move around the Nairobi and get to CBD. That crowd was super massive. It was huge. So majority of Kenyans are coming out more, and speak their mind. It's no longer UDA versus Kenya Kwanza. Sorry, it's no longer Kenya Kwanza versus Azimio. This is all about the people's lives. Because of this, in one way or another, police officers did not manage to contain the situation the way they have been handling in the beginning. And another obvious thing is that Koome is well aware that Raila Odinga wrote to ICC and he mentioned his name. So Koome is now taking a back seat because you know what ICC means? There is people who are giving instruction to police officers. For example, instead of Kindiki and Koome, Gachagua is giving direct orders to police officers to go and invade other people's property. Kwa mfano wakati walikuwa kama kwa Northland, wakakuwa Inspector East Africa. It was Gachagua giving order and the police officers were told to keep off. When Koome sees such things, then he decided that let Gachagua do his own thing and I be aside so that it will not be me who was giving this kind of orders. He's learning that those kind of orders that Gachagua is giving is going to land him in a problem if he start agreeing with him and if he start coming out in press briefing to give those statements that he was giving earlier. If I ask you a question, have you seen Koome as of late issuing statement after statement, threats after threats, the way he was doing in the beginning? The answer is no. Koome is now keeping off. He is washing his hand clean in this matter. Because now he is well aware that it is going to be about individuals carrying their own cross. And to make it more worse, look on what UN is doing. They wrote a letter. They have condemned police officers in a manner in which they are using excess force to handle those people who are demonstrating. So, according to UN, they are saying that police officers are causing chaos during demonstration. And what is the work of police officers? To bring peace. But they are being seen as the people who are distracting peace. So with all this, Koome is saying that I'm not going to sacrifice myself. And now Kenya Kwanza are feeling that Koome is not doing his work. So Koome as an individual, he is withdrawing himself from mishandling Kenyans, beating Kenyans, killing Kenyans, tear-gassing Kenyans during mass action. Sasa amechukua hatua ya kusonga nyuma na sasa mtu mwenye akombena anaonekana hapa kabisa ni Gachagua. Kithure Kindiki now he is coming with mixed reaction. Anasema maandamano iendelee, anakuja anasema sitaruhusu maandamano. Gachagua anakuja hapo, yeye ako serious about mass action. It will never happen, it will never happen. And in fact I can tell you the most worried individual in Kenya Kwanza government. Tunajua Ruto ako na shida, lakini Gachagua is the most worried individual. Kwa akili yake anafikiria Azimio wanataka handshake to bring in Raila. That's what Gachagua thinks. Na Kuria nao timu ingine. And because of that they are worried that they will be kicked out if Raila will come in. But we know Raila does not need a handshake. He don't want. He will not go for a handshake. What he wants is justice to be served to Kenyans. So because of this, Gachagua is using police officer to abuse those who are demonstrating. Now, police officers as individuals, they know that they might carry this burden. Some are retreating, they are withdrawing. They don't want mishandle this mass action. That's why in some areas, we saw police officers restraining themselves from using excess force. Some areas you would see when they're running away. Kwa sababu police officer ako na bunduki, na ako na risasi, ako na tear gas. Kwa nini anakimbia wale wananchi ambao wanamfukuza? Rather than opening fire. They know that to some extent they are going to carry this cross. It is going to be individual who are going to be sued either here or in ICC. Because of this, majority of police officers are now withdrawing. Rather than opening fire to demonstrators, they are withdrawing. And this leads us to another point. The issue of the new special branch within the police who are now operating in civilian. We are well aware that there is possibility of some individuals being given a gun by the government to come and kill those who are demonstrating. And these people are not police officers, but they are being shielded by police officers. Now you see where the government is heading to. So this government is learning that police officers are not willing to continue killing Kenyans during mass action. Now they are introducing another team in police officer who are now executing this. So with all this, it tells you that William Ruto is being left naked. Seemingly, police officers are not with William Samoei Ruto. Pia hawa police wamedanganya tu in the same way sisi wananchi tulidanganywa during campaign. Waliambia mambo ya kuongezewa mshahara iko wapi? Wakasema they want to improve on their kind of life. CJ Maraga alienda akarotate, tuliona picha, walipelekea Ruto information. Up to now polisi wanaishi kwa hizo nyumba za mikebe, mishahara hawakuongezewa. With all this, they're learning that they are working for Ruto, but there is nothing for them to benefit here. Even Ruto lied to them. So they are only safeguarding a man who is a liar and who is just also frustrating them. With all this, they feel that they cannot. Because the same way, yule mwalimu mwenye ameandikwa na serikali ananunua unga, in the same way, polisi ambaye anabeba bunduki ananunua hiyo unga. Mshahara 30,40. Hiyo unga na wanakuja wananunua nayo. The same way a businessman is buying unga and fuel, in the same way a police officer is also doing the same. So with all this, kila mtu anafinyika. Because of all this, there is an emerging possibility of police officers just compromising and allowing people to demonstrate. That's why now Ruto is retreating and they are talking about bringing in the issue of suspending the constitution. Because when you suspend the constitution, it literally means that the army is in charge. Na kama ni army officers wako in charge, how secure is Ruto? Pia hawa wanaona mambo anafanya. Hawa army officers hawako tu hapo kama watu blind, they can see. So he can suspend and the entire thing turn against him. Na hawa amue tutaendesha hii serikali kwa miezi 3 na tuitisha uchaguzi mwingine. Tukifika hapo, Ruto atakuwa mgeni wa nani. So security forces seemingly they are withdrawing from William Samoei Ruto. And now the issue of bringing in goons comes in. Another issue they were talking about, members of parliament organizing goons to come and stop mass action comes in. And that's why we are saying that Ruto ako peke yake. Angekuwa wajamaa wanafanya kazi yake wanatakana, could they think about using goons? The answer is no. Goons are coming in because police officers are not willing to continue with this way of mishandling Kenyans. There are only few who are doing this job. Majority are of no.